All right, first off, no Crixus in the video this week. I know you guys got a kick out of Crixus trying to attack me while I give my NFL picks, but this really isn't a week to be making little jokey, comical things while I give my NFL picks, and I know you guys like that and all. But anyway, shit got quote unquote serious on Monday night, and you guys have wrote me a number of times, asked me what my thoughts are about the Packers getting screwed out of a win, which is, there's no other way to cut it. The Packers got screwed out of a win. The Packers won that game Monday night. They deserve to win that game Monday night, and they should have another win. I don't give a shit about the Packers. I don't give a shit about the Seahawks, but as an observer of the game and a follower of the NFL, you have to. You have to at least respect the fact that the Packers deserve to win that game. That's all there is to it. Now, I'll get to my picks in a second because I just want to just talk about things here a little bit because this really pissed me off. And up until this point, I was okay with the replacement refs. I thought they were doing an adequate job. Were they doing as good a job as the regular refs? Absolutely not. But I didn't think they were just totally messing things up to the way they did on Monday night. But I wasn't really too upset. Yeah, there were some calls that screwed over the Eagles that I thought the regular refs wouldn't have made, and they were affecting the way that my team played. But oh no, I had no real complaints. It was like these were guys that were coaching high school games, reffing high school games, and asked to step on this grand stage in front of tens of thousands of fans, the likes of which they've never seen before. So I get that there's extra pressure on them, and they're going to make, calls that aren't on par with what the regular refs could make. But anyway, it's now gotten to the point where it has literally affected the outcome of a game. And to put things into perspective here, the Green Bay Packers are a team that are potentially another Super Bowl favorite here. They just won the Super Bowl 1 year ago, or 2 seasons ago, and they stand a good shot of winning it again. They're a very good team, and something like this, just one extra loss, is going to change seeding for the playoffs. It could change potential for having home field advantage, even though that really didn't matter last year against the Giants when they got raped in Green Bay. But you get what I'm saying here. Not only that, but Vegas is reporting that $300 million more was paid out because of the Seahawks win in this game, because they were the underdog. When the underdog wins, you pay out more. So literally a change of $300 million shifted from this one game and this one call. Holy shit. Now, I understand the NFL being stern, and I'm with the NFL. I still am with the NFL, standing on their ground to a number of things that the NFL refs want on this strike. One of which is a pension, which you got to wonder, in this day and age, with a group of people that have regular jobs that do this reffing thing in the NFL as a part-time gig, they're pissing and moaning that they want a pension on this job. Folks, I don't know if a lot of you guys realize this, like someone like Ed Hockley, one of the more famous referees, he's a lawyer in real life. He does this NFL stuff on the side because it's just a hobby of his. He loves football. And a number of other people, there's scientists, physicists, all right, that's one and the same. Anyway, you get what I'm saying here. NFL refs work, if you include preseason, postseason, all the way up to the Super Bowl, they can work a maximum of 26 games. That's 26 days a year. And these guys are holding out for something like, oh, we want a pension plan? You work 26 days a year and you're bitching that your employer doesn't give you a pension? There's people that work 300 days a year and don't get a pension. Shut your goddamn mouths, put down your picket signs, and get back to coaching the games. Reffing the games. It's the second time I said that wrong. Anyway, I can understand the NFL just standing on the principle of this, because people are like, well, the NFL makes so much money, what they would throw out is just, table scraps to them. No, it's a matter of principle. It's a matter of them saying, with all due respect, you don't deserve a pension. I'm sorry, you just don't. But now it's gotten to the point where we're seeing outcomes of games physically changed by the replacement refs that are in position now to call these games. And it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe giving them the pension plan isn't such a bad idea now because, goddamn, it's going to save the games from being screwed up like this. Or will it? Because when this happened, someone tweeted to me, oh, this was as bad as Super Bowl XL. And it got me thinking. I was like, oh yeah, that was Pittsburgh and Seattle in the Super Bowl, and I was like, wow, that's considered one of the worst ref games in history, and arguably the outcome of that game was decided by bad referee calls. And I was like, oh wait, that was regular refs calling that game. That wasn't that long ago. That was a few years ago. And yet in the Super Bowl, the referees that ref the Super Bowl are all-star caliber refs. Like, they're like the best of the best. And so it got me thinking, I was like, wow, well, if I didn't think the replacement refs were doing all that bad till now, and now they have this one colossal game where they really screwed up, but then with the real refs, I thought there was this colossal game that they messed up called the Super Bowl. I was like, should I really care if the real refs come back or not? And that's the thing. Yes, I know a lot of people have complaints about these replacement refs. Are they doing a bad job? In some cases, yes, they are. One thing, though, and I'm pretty much done talking about whether or not the refs should come back or not. One thing, the good thing that came out of what happened on Monday night is it made me forget how bad my Philadelphia Eagles got raped in Arizona. Because the whole day I was just pondering up until the game on Monday and then up until the end of the game in Seattle. I was going, oh God, the Eagles just got destroyed by the Cardinals. What is going on? Like, nothing looked positive. Like, they didn't even score a touchdown. But then I saw the end of the Seahawks-Packers game, and I was like, holy shit, I am glad not to be a Packers fan today. Wow, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Packers fan. I was like, I got no room to complain. At least my team didn't get screwed over by a bad ref call on the literal last play of the game. So, on to what was the entire week. Let's just go over the picks here because, holy shit, the outcome for the games on on week 3 were just insane. I don't know, I think they said 10 underdogs won. 10? Is that right? How the hell does that happen? Anyway, I got 4 picks correctly. 4. I could have flipped a coin during my predictions last week and got a better outcome than that. 4. Let's just blast through these real quick because it's not really much to say. Giants whooped Carolina. I mean, the Giants look like the Super Bowl form Giants that they were last year. I don't know how the hell they lost Game 1 to Dallas because Dallas looks like a complete shitbird team this year. Anyways, Cam Newton just is appearing to be more and more irrelevant this year. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Chicago beats St. Louis. That's 25% of the picks I got right. That was, I figured that would go that way. Buffalo beat Cleveland. That's another 25% of the picks I got right. Dallas beat Tampa Bay in a game that they absolutely struggled to win. Again, I don't know why or how Tampa Bay is being so competitive with teams this year, and why Dallas is just shitting the bed as bad as they are after beating the Super Bowl champs in week 1. Just whatever. Jets beat Miami in a very close overtime game. I told you that game was going to be a coin flip game. Vikings beating the 49ers. Again, another upset. I have no idea how the hell that happened. 49ers, I still think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. It's just one of those weeks. I mean, losing is inevitable. Even the Packers last year, when they looked like they were unbeatable, they went into Kansas City and lost out of nowhere. Everyone was like, oh shit, Kansas City ended up beating them. What the hell happened? Anyway, Vikings beat the 49ers. Chiefs beat New Orleans. New Orleans is 0-3. I didn't think it was possible or even conceivable. Even the most intellectual NFL mind would have never said to you, oh, well, it's fully well impossible that the Saints will start out 0-3. That is just unreal, just absolutely unreal. And the Saints blew it in the fourth quarter. Like they were pretty much controlling the game, and they just let the Chiefs just march on right through to the fourth quarter and win in overtime. Cincinnati beating the Redskins. Boy, RG3 looked really impressive week 1, kind of impressive in week 2. Week 3, just not so much. I mean, he still looks solid. Again, it's not panic time in Redskinville. I mean, because I know you guys will be like, oh my God, we gave away so many first-round picks for this guy. He better pan out. He'll be fine. Tennessee beating Detroit in what is a decision in Detroit that I get, but I don't get. Detroit had a chance to tie the game with an easy field goal. Instead, they went for it on 4th and inches in the red zone to try and pick up the first down and hopefully get a touchdown from there. That gamble failed when they got stopped on 4th down, and there you go. Tennessee wins the game. Oh my God. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat Andrew Luck and the Colts. Again, another upset, how does this happen? I mean, this looked like the Colts team from last year. And I mean, I'd be a little more panicked about Andrew Luck's performance this year compared to RG3. Everyone was like, yo, Andrew Luck is just going to clearly outshine RG3. Yeah, it looks kind of like the other way around so far this year. Cardinals stomped the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, it's the things I said in the previous weeks. It's not so much the play of Vic that is going to kill this team. It's the injuries on the offensive line, because that offensive line looks like complete Swiss cheese right now. You lose Kelsey and you lose Peters, 2 of your single-handedly most important offensive linemen. You can't just replace them. I mean, the replacements like King Dunlap. I mean, well, first of all, he's taken in and out of the locker room every 5th minute of the game, and Demetrius Bell. Yeah, I mean, they're doing what they're doing with the replacements that they're putting in there, but they look like complete shit. They look like replacement refs playing the game. Anyway. All right, it's not that bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult NFL players calling them a replacement ref. They're not that bad. All right, maybe they are. They didn't even score a goddamn touchdown last week. Philadelphia had 6 points. Anyway, no one wants to hear me piss and moan about my team. Atlanta beats San Diego. I think this was a statement game for Atlanta. This is Atlanta basically saying that they own their division. They went out west, beat an AFC team. Not only beat an AFC team, they whooped the AFC team's ass. Again, Matty Ice and the Falcons are showing that they're one of the greatest regular season teams in NFL history. Or maybe not that much, but anyway. We'll just wait for them to shit the bed again in the playoffs. Houston, another 25% of the picks I got right, beat Denver, and boy, it's looking like Peyton Manning is really just kind of tentative playing football now. He does not look like the Peyton Manning of old. He looks like he definitely lost a little zip on his ball. He's doing a lot of just gunslinging. He looks kind of like Brett Favre at the end of his career, just doing a lot more gunslinging. And Houston, again, not to brag, this is a team I had picked to go on to the Super Bowl, and they look like they're more than well going to do that. Raiders beating Pittsburgh. Again, another upset pick. Went to overtime. It was a hard-fought game. Shit ton of points. That Pittsburgh team, I mean, if you guys, a lot of you guys shit on me by saying I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to make the playoffs. Where are you at now? They've given up a ton of points. They've lost to shitty teams like this now. I mean, they just do not look like that Super Bowl caliber team or teams from the past. They're just well past their prime. Big Ben's just well past the twilight of his career. Look for a few more seasons out of him before he just gets roughed up beyond the point that he can't even play anymore. Raiders win. Again, another upset. Baltimore beating New England. Boy, was this the talk of the town until the Monday Night Football game. That supposed field goal, and I saw it. Basically, the game ended when Baltimore kicks a field goal in the end of the fourth quarter. The ball goes over the upright, and it looks like, well, it might not have cleared the upright. It might have either hit the upright and been a rejected field goal, or it may have just, went outside the upright. Well, maybe not that far. It would have hit the upright at the most. It's a judgment call. The best angle was that ref that was standing right under the upright. And this time I'm going with the judgment, not because I picked Baltimore over New England or I'm just a New England hater, whatever you want to say. I honestly think the kick would have been good, regardless of whether the upright was 10 feet taller in the air or not. Anyway, and then Monday night we have Seattle, quote unquote, beating the Green Bay Packers. I find it interesting. Just one other point I want to make from this. Actually, two more points. Is that one of the sports betting books? I forget what website it is. They're refusing to honor this game, to honor the decision. They're basically saying if you bet on Green Bay to win, we're going to refund your money. And I think that's a classy move, and just like just seeing Seattle celebrate this game. Like if you're a fan of the Seahawks, you have your Pete Carroll screaming on the sideline at the end of the game like you won some shitty Pac-10 game, shut your fucking face, all right? This is nothing to celebrate. Nothing. If you get in the playoffs by one game, getting in the playoffs is nothing to celebrate this year. Seattle needs to just be humble about this, realize, all right, they picked up the win. It was a cheap win. Anyone on that team has no right to celebrate this victory. This was just such a thorough, just raping of a victory. And one last point I wanted to make about this was, I honestly think when that referee signals touchdown, I think that that referee is honestly confused and thinks that Green Bay has the ball. I mean, if you look at it, and this referee will never admit to it because he can't now. I honestly think he thinks that Green Bay had the ball and they came down with it in the end zone. And he was just confused. And think about it. This is a guy who's never played in anything to this level before. The game is on the line. It's a Hail Mary pass. And he just sees someone catch it, comes down. It's a clean reception. Like the ball, it's not a question of like the ball hitting the ground or anything like that. It was two guys jockeying for position, which, by the way, Tate totally did a pass interference, which, again, on a Hail Mary pass is never going to get called. Happens all the time. So people saying that, Tate got away with pass interference, calm down. When he sees Green Bay come down with the ball, he thinks that's a Green Bay wide receiver, not a corner or safety playing in the end zone for coverage. I honestly think that he's calling a touchdown for Green Bay. Anyways, that's just a point I wanted to make now. Let's just I don't even know why. I don't even want to spend a lot of time in the picks this week because after last week, just go to show you any given Sunday happens quite a lot on week 3 Sundays in the 2012 NFL season. Thursday night game, Cleveland at Baltimore. You gotta be kidding me if you think Cleveland is gonna go into Baltimore and come out with a victory. Baltimore wins this one easily. Carolina at Atlanta. This was a game that I had circled on my calendar. I was like, this is the game where Carolina is going to make a statement in that division. They're going to say, we are the team to beat. Well, I'm sorry, but Atlanta made that statement last week for you. Atlanta is going to roll over Carolina. It's at Atlanta. Game over, Cam Newton. Have fun trying to make the playoffs next year. New England at Buffalo. Let's be realistic. New England is not going to lose 3 games in a row. As much as I think that team is declining, as much as I hate the Patriots, they're not going to lose to Buffalo. And the Buffalo's a team I have making the playoffs this year, so I give respect to Buffalo. But New England's going to win this game. Minnesota at Detroit. I don't see Detroit losing 2 games in a row, especially losing such a heartbreaker last week at Tennessee. Detroit is going to come back and stomp Minnesota. Minnesota is just riding the high of highs after beating the 49ers, and I just think they're going to be used up emotionally and physically. And yeah, well, anyway. San Diego at Kansas City. San Diego is pissed the hell off that they played so abysmally against Atlanta. They are going to just take out their rage on Kansas City, and they're just going to stomp that Chief ass. At Kansas City, I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City won, but San Diego is going to get this one. Seattle at St. Louis. Congratulations, Seattle. You got another victory. Hopefully this is one that you could appreciate and actually cheer. 49ers against the Jets. 49ers, like I said, they're going to be a little pissed off. you can even see they were pissed off coming out of halftime because they came out and they made a solid push against Minnesota because they were pissed that they played so awful in the first half. I think they're really pissed off now that they didn't get the job done in the second half. I look for that defense to play on full lockdown mode against the Jets. Darrelle Revis, if I heard correctly, is out for the year. So hopefully you get a few passing touchdowns out of that. But anyway, 49ers are going to win this one. I see it a very easy victory. Tennessee at Houston. This is a game, even though, like I said, I have Houston picked to go into the Super Bowl. I see them as hands down one of the most dominant teams in football right now. This is a game where, that's going to win those games. It's like that Kansas City game against the Packers last year where it's like, oh, they just came out of nowhere and beat them. I can see if Tennessee pulls this off, but I really think Houston is still going to win this game. I'm still going with Houston, though. I will not be surprised if Tennessee wins this one. Houston with the victory here. Cincinnati at Jacksonville. I don't see the Jaguars winning 2 games in a row. They were lucky that Andrew Luck had a rather abysmal day. I see Cincinnati with the victory here. Miami at Arizona. This is that game that no one's going to expect. This is kind of like that Tennessee-Houston game where it's like, oh, well, Arizona's riding the high highs. They're undefeated. They just came off of a more than impressive victory against my Eagles. I think Miami's going to win this game. And I'm not saying that as a bitter Eagles fan that's pissed off that this team beat my team. I honestly think this is one of those games that Arizona's going to take for granted and Miami is going to take advantage of it. This is like my just wild card of wild card picks this week. I try and pick one pick that's kind of off the wall. And this is one of them. This is one I think Miami is that sleeper team that's just going to come out and they're going to be like, oh, shit, they beat a really good team. Oh, my God. And then they're going to shit the bed the rest of the season. Oakland at Denver. I'm sorry, Peyton, but I'm just not a believer in you anymore. Not that I liked you all that much before because you're a terrible playoff quarterback. And shut up before you tell me he won a Super Bowl because his defense won that Super Bowl. Anyway, and not to mention playing a Bears team that had no business being in the Super Bowl. Anyway, Oakland, I see you with another victory. 2 victories in a row for you, Oakland. How about that? Or is it 3? Don't they have 3? Anyway. New Orleans at Green Bay. See, this is a tough one because I was like, there's no way Green Bay is going to lose after what happened on Monday night. I was like, after what happened on Monday night, I was like, oh, I feel sorry for whoever gets Green Bay next. And I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh, New Orleans. And I was like, is New Orleans seriously going to start off the season by losing 4 games in a row? I was like, that's tough to say. I mean, I was like, there's no way a Super Bowl caliber team like the New Orleans Saints is going to lose 4 games in a row. But it's going to happen. And this is the year that it happens. Green Bay gets the victory here. Washington at Tampa Bay. This is going to be RG3 day. RG3 is going to have about 370 passing yards. Tampa Bay is finally going to be humbled for the completely mediocre team that they are. I mean, this team has got to hit a wall. I just don't get it. I just don't get how this team is so competitive. They're going to hit a wall sooner or later, and this is that time. Watch. Washington's going to win by at least 3 touchdowns. Giants at Philadelphia. Brian Dawkins night. Philadelphia. Andy Reid's got pretty much a statement game here at this point. Jeffrey Lurie's going to be watching down his neck from the luxury box. Philadelphia. Chicago at Dallas. Monday night. Hopefully this game isn't decided by a shitty Hail Mary call. Chicago whoops that Dallas ass because Dallas is just an abysmal team. Anyways, that concludes the Bizzaro week 13. See, I even got the number wrong. Week 3. And what should be hopefully more back to normal week 4 in the NFL. Again, I just... These replacement refs, it would be nice to have the real ones back, but again, I understand the NFL for standing firm on their position on a matter of principle rather than it just being about, oh, just give them a few extra bucks, it's no big deal. Seattle, again, shut up with celebrating that victory on Monday night. Because if that was my team, holy shit. Holy shit. The only thing else that's really good about what happened is that the call went for the home team. Because if this was in a town, like, no offense, Seattle, but if this was in a town that was really super passionate about football, so about like towns like Green Bay, like Dallas, like Philadelphia, like New York, if it happened in teams like that in their hometown and the call went against them, it would have got ugly. Oh, it would have got ugly. So be grateful that this happened in Seattle to the Packers on the road. And the NFL needs to really think about things like that because it really could have got ugly quick. And we don't want football looking like soccer where fans run on the field and start fighting and rioting, murdering each other. Sorry, soccer, I had to take a shot on you there, but sorry. Oh, the fans don't kill each other in the NFL. In soccer, they do. Anyway, now I end with that note of taking a nice pot shot at soccer. Everyone enjoy your football. My Eagles, again, I didn't expect them to go anywhere this season, so I can only be so depressed about their abysmal play thus far. Anyway, this video was ridiculously long. Have a great day, everyone.